And welcome back to Forks, Knives, and Spoons. I'm JJ.
And I'm Mia.
Today's restaurant review, we will be at the Cheesecake Factory in Easton Town Center in Columbus, Ohio. We visited with my brother Jeremy on a sunny Friday at about 2 p.m. in February, just as the weather was trying to warm up.
The Cheesecake Factory is a national chain. We have 2 locations here in Columbus, Ohio, Polaris Fashion Place, and the other is the Easton Town Center.
The Cheesecake Factory is open 7 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays, 11 to 11 p.m., and then there's Sundays, 10 to 10 p.m. Don't forget the happy hours either, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Don't want to miss that.
The Cheesecake Factory is an Easton original. The Easton location has been there since Easton opened back in 1999. Now, where the Cheesecake Factory decides to locate is part of their success.
The Cheesecake Factory has an A-plus malls strategy. It's an approach that definitely applies to Easton Town Center. Matthew Elliott Clark, a senior vice president, puts it this way: we've only gone into those A-plus malls that continue to reinvest capital to drive their own guest experience and continue to bring people in.
Now, reservations for the Cheesecake Factory are up on their website via Yelp. You can order for pickup, home delivery, of course, via DoorDash.
And you can find out more about Cheesecake Factory on their website. Let's take a deep dive into their About Us page. It all began in the 1940s when Evelyn Overton found a recipe in her local Detroit newspaper that inspired her original cheesecake. Now, everyone loved her homemade cheesecake so much that she decided to open a small bakery.
Also, there's a timeline beginning in their humble beginnings to their explosive success.
And on their timeline, you will see significant Cheesecake Factory events over the decades as they established 306 units, including other brands such as Grand Lux Cafe and others. The Cheesecake Factory is known for its extensive menu, which is usually nearly 6,000 words long, and they've got about 250 items on there. And there's a reason why it's so lengthy.
According to Jay Bear and Daniel Lament, authors of the book Talk Triggers, the menu is a talk trigger, built-in differentiator that creates customer conversations.
Also, Overton told NRN in 2017, we've changed the menu twice a year, every year for 40 years. That's what keeps people interested. There's nothing that America wants to eat that cannot go on the Cheesecake Factory menu.
The Cheesecake Factory is also known for their large portions. Keep that in mind as we review today's meal.
Now, before we move on, let me remind you of our rating system where forks are good, knives are bad, and the golden spoon is exceptional.
Now off to the location. Now the Cheesecake Factory is located at the Easton Town Center between Crate and Barrel and Barnes & Noble.
Right across from the waterfall and the train exhibit.
Across from Brio, the comedy club, the theater with the virtual room experiences, Legoland for kids, an escape room, and lots of other restaurants to name. Now, they have lots of parking. There's parking garages and parking lots everywhere.
And the parking is free.
Now, for their interior. Either love it or hate it, the interior of the Cheesecake Factory is awesome.
The Cheesecake Factory does have an in-house designer. His name's Rick McCormick. He gave an interview where he described the decor as Victorian and Egyptian. He also said, if I tried to describe to you what it looks like, you'd probably think it was one of the most horrible-looking places around. He also said the unique Egyptian-style columns are designed to be noticed, and they can vary slightly from restaurant to restaurant.
So how do you want to rate this, JJ?
Well, there's lots of action going on with hotels that are close to it. With so much to do and a beautiful decor, I'd say it's a golden spoon.
Yay!
So let's move on to drinks.
All right.
I had the Strawberry Blossom. Now that's strawberry-infused botanist gin, agave, fresh lime, and a splash of Prosecco. You know, it was nice, light, clean, and refreshing. I hardly even noticed the Prosecco. It's perfect for a sunny day. I love those kind of drinks, citrusy and almost a mimosa. I'll go ahead and give that a golden spoon, which is
wow.
Oh yeah, Rare for me. I love that drink. How about you, Mia? You had.
I had the bourbon and honey. Four Roses bourbon, orange blossom honey, fresh lemon, and a sprig of thyme floated right on top. To me, that was one of the better bourbon and honeys I've had, and I'll go ahead and give mine a fork.
Alrighty. Interesting story there. We flipped it around. I actually ordered the bourbon and honey, Mia the strawberry blossom, but we liked each other's drinks so much we switched it and switched drinks. And I gave the one the golden spoon, so that was pretty good. Let's move on to Jeremy's selection, my brother. He got the freshly brewed iced tea. Well, it's everything one would expect, so gets a fork on the freshly brewed iced tea for
And
Jeremy.
there we go. Now let's move on to the appetizers.
We're counting the bread service and the appetizers, where they give you three kinds of bread. There's the brown bread that is very popular. You can even buy that on Amazon. That's how popular it is. Recipes online too. They've got the sour bread, and I'm not sure what that third bread was. Mia, any clues?
I don't know what it is either, because I very rarely get the bread service, but every time I do, I enjoy it.
Did notice that the butter pat was just a little hard to spread. Would have been nice if that was softer, but considering the bread was good, delicious, came hot, I'd give it a fork.
Sounds good to me. Our other appetizer was some crispy Brussels sprouts, which we shared amongst the table. They were amazing. I couldn't have had better if I didn't make them myself. They were tossed with bacon, Vermont maple butter glaze, seasoned to perfection. They were absolutely scrumptious.
Oh my.
Definitely give that a golden spoon.
Golden spoon because of bacon. Love that bacon.
Bacon.
As we move on to hot spinach and cheese dip. Now this was spinach, artichoke hearts, shallots, garlic, and a mixture of cheeses served bubbly hot with tortilla chips and salsa. The chips were light, but I don't think made in-house. Rather basic, not memorable, but it was good. I think we can still go with a fork on the hot spinach and cheese dip.
All right, sounds good to me. Now, this section we're going to call soups and salads. We had a Caesar salad, Jeremy and I did. It's just your basic Caesar salad with romaine lettuce and their in-house made Caesar dressing. Nothing to write home to mom about, but I'll definitely still give it a fork.
Let's move on to our next section, entrees. I had the shrimp and chicken gumbo. That's shrimp, chicken, andouille sausage, tomatoes, peppers, onions, and garlic simmered in a spicy Cajun-style broth with cream. And it was topped with steamed white rice. Now, temperature was hot, love that. The sauce was not so spicy for me, kind of mild. Other than the mildness, it had the right Creole flavor, decent chunks of chicken and shrimp, and I'll go ahead and give that one a fork.
Now for my entree, I enjoyed the lemon garlic shrimp. Sauteed shrimp, basil, tomato, lemon garlic sauce, served with asparagus and angel hair pasta. Now the pasta was just a little on the chilly side, but it's kind of hard to keep pasta at that perfect temperature when it's not soaking in sauce. The dish, however, was delicious enough to give it a fork.
Oh, lovely. Now we'll move on to Jeremy's selection, the Impossible Burger. It's a delicious plant-based burger with lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions, and mayonnaise on a toasted bun, served with a green salad. Jeremy's comments were he liked it and enjoyed it and probably would order it again. So we'll go ahead and give that one a fork for the Impossible Burger.
Now off to desserts because we were having an early celebration of my birthday. So I ordered the caramel pecan turtle cheesecake, which was Now it took me 2 days to eat it, but I did have a forkful there, so I'll definitely give that another fork.
Oh, a fork, as we see you blowing out the candle. They even lit that up for you. That's a wonderful birthday thing they did for you.
Yes.
Now let's go on to service. Our server was Jared, according to the check, and he did the minimum. I didn't find that he was very attentive, somewhat of a personality. Anything to add on our server, Jared? Yeah.
He did his job. It wasn't bad and it wasn't over the top, but he did a very decent job. So with that, he gets a fork.
All right, as we move on and into price. Now, the price for all three of us was $131.95 before tax and tip. I think for the location, it is the Cheesecake Factory. You pretty much, they're pretty popular. Most folks know what they're getting when they go there. I'd say it's adequate for what they are.
I would agree with that as well, and that gets another fork. On to the wrap-up.
So we did take a look at other ratings. Google gives the Cheesecake Factory 4.2 stars, and they got a lot of reviews, over 4,000. So that looks pretty good. Yelp gives them 3 stars with 399 reviews, and lastly, TripAdvisor with 4 stars, 387. So again, they've been around for a long time. These reviews are specific to Easton. Rates pretty good.
All right, our rating summaries are 11 forks, 0 knives. Think this is only the second time ever we've had 0 knives, and 3 golden spoons.
Wow, golden spoons on location, the strawberry blossom cocktail, and those crispy Brussels sprouts. So 11 forks, 0 knives, 3 spoons. That sounds like a really good rating for the Cheese Factory. I certainly enjoyed my time there. You, Mia?
I had a wonderful time there. I always love the Cheesecake Factory. Even though you call it Tutti Frutti, we still tend to go there every now and again.
That's true, I do. I think it is a Tutti Frutti menu just because of all of the various varieties of avocados and fruits that they put into their creations. But they got a lot of stuff on the menu, and they wouldn't have it there if it didn't sell. So there's something there for everybody.
Everybody. And with that being said, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment on where you'd like us to go and review for your next episode of Forks, Knives, and Spoons.